So hi guys, we have Mr. Sharath and Mr. Martin from HENN, and it's very interesting to know that there are these kind of components which are specifically working on electric mobility. To understand it better, Mr. Sharath, if you could explain what product range do you have?
Sure. We are into fluid quick connectors. So basically these kind of plastic connectors are used in thermal management applications where for battery, we require the thermal managements for maintaining the optimal temperature.
Right.
So wherever there is a hose to mating part or a battery connection, that you cannot use the regular clamps or clips. This EV is a little critical. So that's where we are used. As a product, it looks simple, but the criticality of this product is keen that it needs to mate in and it never come out, as well as this end is a coolant flow, so it should never leak. So from a criticality point, it's critical. So we supply components to many global OEMs already. So in India, we have recently set base. In fact, 2 days back, we have set up a new production facility in Chennai.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. So we are looking at supporting more and more Indian OEMs who are focusing on this EV market, and that's
right. And Mr. Martin, since you've seen the global market and now you've come to India, what difference do you see in terms of, let's say, the acceptance of special material products like this in India? Have you faced any sort of challenges or queries that Indian OEMs ask you to make sure that they purchase
actually the Indian customers are quite open for, let's say, new technology. So as you just learned, we started just our factory, and only 2 years ago we entered the market here in India with importing or exporting from Europe and importing here. And so far the Indian companies have been very welcoming to us, and they're really interested in our technology, which makes things a little bit easier for us.
Great. So Mr. Sharath, what difference would you say that this product has, which is not there in the competitive let's say
so typically you see in competitive parts or in any kind of plastic parts, it's a single molded part. You need to make any kind of modification, you need to make a new tool. But what we have done is, so EV is pretty new to everybody, so you don't know what kind of diversity you need. Sometimes you need a bend here, sometimes you need a sensor here. So it becomes complex for the customer as well as us to spend time, cost and all that in a different place. So we have introduced a modularity concept here, where the front part is common, so it always remains common, and only any modification required is done only on the pipe bend here. So which is something unique. It saves a lot of time, cost, and the diversity can be, especially at this time, we can do a lot of diversity, which is a unique selling point for us. So also some new OEMs are there now. There is a lot of focus on material right now. They want recyclable material, lightweighting and all that. So when it comes to that, it's a little difficult that you change the entire product. So you don't need to do that in this kind of modular concept, where this is the only critical functional part. There's just a holding part. So this part, you just change the material, and then that way it saves a lot of cost and time.
I think it's very interesting to know that you focused on modularity to make sure that the speed with which the technology and designs are changing, it adapts to it.
Correct.
Right? And and eventually, let's say, what is your direction in let's say in 5 years? Would you want to eventually, do you think that these kind of components are going to be freezed in the design? Because at the moment the designs are changing and it's improving, definitely. But do you think eventually it's going to be standardized?
It's definitely an evolving product. You see, until a few years back, this was just a product. And from that, now the new requirements are they require something like this to drain the pipe. The next level is you're bringing in a lot of mechatronics to this, where they need sensors, pressure sensors, temperature sensors, and the next level could be even much more. So that are the evolving products. So it's I think a lot more development coming in the recent days.
So Mr. Martin, as Mr. Sharath mentioned about the evolution which is still happening in the Indian product designing, and Europe is quite advanced, right? Does India already has a roadmap to follow, and Europe has already reached there, wherein the design language can be copied speed from the European market, or do you think the innovation can go in a very different direction in the Indian market for these products?
Well, I don't think Europe is quite advanced when it comes to EV technology. You see, the market leaders are definitely the Chinese. So if you want to look at advanced technology, we have to look at China.
Right.
But I think the Indian companies are also very innovative. I just learned that, for example, Tata is now designing their own batteries, including the cooling system and everything. Before they bought it from Goshen. So, yeah, they will definitely come up with new, very innovative solutions, and we are the right partner then for them to, with our innovative products to get to the next step. And maybe catch up or even overtake the Chinese manufacturers.
Great. And question for both of you, anyone can jump in. What price difference do you have in your product as compared to the single mold, as you mentioned?
It's definitely, there's definitely a benefit. The benefit is definitely in double digits. So the modularity as such, so this part is common for almost all the parts. So there is a volume game here. There's economy of scale here coming in.
Makes sense.
So this brings in an overall cost saving, as well as the diversity is reduced here. So from a customer point of view, it is very cost beneficial. Plus we are also bringing in few more innovations, like this part where there is no bend here. So it's kind of a laminar shape, where there is normally in electric vehicles there is a pressure drop issue. We are able to sort that here by around 60%. So there is a cost saving in terms of the size of the tubes that are being used now. So the a reduced tube size is definitely a cost saving for. So overall, as a system, you look at it, there's definitely a cost saving for customers with these kind of products.
So thanks a lot, Mr. Sharath and Mr. Martin. It was great interacting with you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, pleasure.